Senior Resource Center, we're a nonprofit 501c3 that serves as the Sawyer County Aging Unit. So every county in Wisconsin is required to have an aging unit. And we have 5 senior meal sites throughout the county, and our county is 1,350 square miles. So it's a very large county, and our county seat where our offices are located are in the northwestern corner of the county. And just me going out to our 5 different sites, I realized that there was a lot of territory where there's elders that don't get any type of service, because we not only do we serve meals, but it's a social culture at the centers, but we also deliver Meals on Wheels within about a 15-mile radius of each of the sites. But there was so many locations in between that were isolated that they don't have anything. And so that became a concern to me, is how are those people eating? They're not getting socialization, anything like that. We started looking at doing a project in a way that we could reach out to those, and actually the state of Wisconsin came up with a revitalization grant opportunity to apply for, and they wanted us to think out of the box of ways that we could serve more seniors. And I thought of an idea of using a barbecue food trailer for us to go around to these different locations. We really felt that it was important and went through with it, and we identified 10 locations and did 10. Our purpose was to serve a meal, just a meal, and for those people to have a social opportunity. And it became much more than that, because I'm on the hospital transitions team, and other agencies started saying, hey, can we go along with you, you know? And so we ended up having hospice nurses came along and did blood pressure checks. We had a home health agency come and help do blood pressure checks. The ADRC of the county came along and did memory screens. Walgreens jumped on board and said, hey, we'll go out and do flu shots. And so we had the veteran service officer came out, our transportation coordinator for mobility management came out, and it turned into like this mini health fair. So not only were they getting a meal, but they were all getting the socialization, but plus things like flu shots, which many of them said they never would have gotten otherwise, because it's so far for them to travel to get things like that. And you just don't realize how many people are out there needing those services. So it was a 3-year process and then it did turn into so much more. It was much more than a meal. Now we're looking at this next year. We did receive some funding through the Green Bay Packers Foundation, gave us seed money of $3,500 to start again for the 2000, because that's another thing, is there's a lot of times that agencies get grants for something, they do what they're required to do, and then the project never goes on beyond that. So this is something that we want to do well into the future. As far as we know, we're the only one. We know we're the only agency in Wisconsin that's doing something like this for outreach for elderly, but maybe in the nation also. So we're being looked at not just by other agencies in Wisconsin, but throughout the nation. So we're very excited about this opportunity. We put on over 500 miles in our travels. We served over 400 at the outreach events. Probably our biggest event was in a small community. It's Loretta, Draper, Oxbow. So it's kind of 3 little communities. We were once a large lumber, logging communities throughout the whole county. And then once the logging industry left, a lot of these communities turned into almost like ghost towns. But there's still people living there trying to farm and things like that. So when we did that outreach event, we did it at the Draper Town Hall, and because we were supposed to project how many people are going to show up. If 5 people showed up, we would have been happy. We ended up we were going to start at noon, and by 11 o'clock we had people lined up. We served over 69 meals and we didn't even know that many people lived out in that community, so it was great. But not only that, but they also received their flu shots and blood pressure checks and all that kind of stuff. And they were so appreciative. And then when are you coming back? So now we have to go back.